One.
This is the Jethro Tull machine, invented in 1701, also invented by Jethro Tull. He invented the Tull machine to cut down on the slowness of traditional sewing. Most were horse-drawn, but some were push-or-pull system. This led to GE and GMO. GE and GMO are very common preservatives to make the plant grow faster and stronger. The Enclosure Acts were a series of parliamentary acts passed between 1750 and 1860. Because of these acts, many farmers were forced to give up their land to wealthy landowners. The acts also caused open fields where most crops were grown, and wastes, marshes, rocky lands, or moors closed to use by peasants. This led to industrial Britain. In the industrial Britain, the population doubled in size from 7.1 million to 14.2 million. Britain built factories and canals and experienced rapid urban growth. This manufactured and patented new industrial techniques. After the 1800s, towns started using coal-powered gas lamps. Coal was producing roughly 6% of the national income. Because coal took over, the first iron rails were invented, therefore, in 1779, inventing the first all-iron bridge. The Combination Acts prohibited workers from unionizing and rebelling for better working conditions. The Factory Acts overruled the Combination Acts to improve working conditions for children in 1833. No child under 9 was able to work. The Reform Acts of 1832 gave more voting rights to the lower class. In 1867, it included just shy of 1 million working people had the right to vote. In 1884, this gave the right to vote to most laborers. By this time, voting was a right, not a privilege. In 1918, it gave the right to vote for all men over 21 and all women over 30. This was also the first act that granted women votes. Railroads around 1847 allowed access to both middle and upperclassmen. People compared it to watching a movie on a TV screen, like watching time go by. The steam engine helped provide more goods and supplies faster. They established the Greenwich Mean Time in 1847. The Greenwich Mean Time was a generalized time in a certain location. Waste production around 1858. The Great Stink was the buildup of all the waste in the river Thames. A huge heat wave struck in, and the sewage was beginning to ferment in the heat. It caused a horrible smell and diseases. The Education Act of 1880 made school a requirement for children up to age 10. Handloom weavers in the early 1900s were losing their jobs to new textile factories. Before 1750, wool was the main fabric. After that, cotton was the main fabric, and still is today. In 1721, the UK passed a law to ban printed fabrics. These printed fabrics were an export of India and France, and English cotton mills could not make them. The Education Act of 1918 had mandatory schooling up to age 14.